Today at the Rainbow, we have just arrived. Entry through the portal, the slight afterburn effect, we shake it off. Time log 8:22, 6:22, 2025. The surprise effect of seeing our usual company gathered here every time we arrive. It's beginning to wear thin. Special items on the menu for breakfast: smoked salmon, anchovy frittatas, a choice of hot and cold beverages. Oh, just a black coffee for me, thank you. A Long Island for you? All right. The conversations continue around our favorite bartender. It appears we are just in time. They seem to be closing off on one topic. It seems like the old man, who usually sits next to me, is doing an outro on the topic of boredom. This mental condition, diagnosed as boredom, seems to have had its beginning in the upper strata of society, which has now descended to the lower, where it is being worn threadbare. That now, those who are truly and really bored strive to conceal their misfortune, as though it were a vice. I notice the little Frenchman. He seems to be shaking his head and smiling slyly, as if he completely comprehends these subtleties. Did I mention that Albert Camus was there too? He seems quiet, lost in thought. My friend, as if to welcome ourselves into the conversation, she says, "Who can ignore the present geopolitical condition, the carnage, the bloodshed, the incessant output on media communication? I heard something profound a few days ago. It struck me. This expert responding to a question. He says, well, I don't know the answer to that. We'll soon find out. It seems like we are at the doorstep of truth." There was a brief period of silence, and then Albert Camus spoke, with such gravity that we all turned to listen. He said, "In the end, it's all a matter of privilege." Privilege? What is privilege? A new topic had begun. Everybody joined in. One of them said, well, at the very surface, it means happiness, the strength and flexibility of your body, the ability to function, for your body to support you with your wants, needs, desires. Someone else said, the pursuit of happiness, freedom, liberty. The bartender added, freedom of expression, freedom of thought. Camus reads this tablet hanging on the wall, as if that's what triggered his statement on privilege. It's part of the decor. The inscription. It's a quote from Carl Jung. Nothing worse can happen to one than be completely understood. But that's a pipe dream. That expectation, so far from reality, it's absurd. Look, the spring showers have finally begun. The forecast is calling for 100 millimeters. I stand out with my arms open, the water running through my fingers. There's a story about, you know how many writers, thinkers, they use the framework of myths and legends to retell, recalibrate, to somewhat alter the output of the narrative, to speak the unspeakable, the incommunicable, to convey a message that they intend to. We have already seen the case of Rainer Marie Rilke, who had used the myth of Orpheus and Eurydice. Albert Camus has done it too, with the myth of Sisyphus. My field, said Goethe, is time. He was responding to an allegation, an accusation, a criticism of one of his works. Blasphemy, they had said. Goethe had written this play in his earlier days, titled Prometheus, two fragmentary acts as far as he got. The theme being in defiance of the gods. If we bring Camus' myth of Sisyphus, you know, the old layering method, it's the age-old question, unanswerable. Either the gods are all powerful, which means man would have no control, no power to perpetuate evil on earth, on mankind, on each other. Or man is the one in control. He is the all powerful. So, for those who are familiar with Greek mythology, we know that Prometheus was punished by the gods. He was chained to a rock in the Caucasus Mountains for bringing fire to man. Goethe's play is a flashback to the scene in the courtroom. Prometheus is on the defendant's stand. His case has been heard, deliberated, and now the time has come for sentencing. The gods make a conditional offer to Prometheus. 1. He can continue to stay in Olympus, enjoy the comforts, but he has been stripped of all the resident privileges. He would have to seek approval for anything that he wants to do. Condition number 2, he would have to convince mankind that the gods are the all-powerful and that they need to show their devotion through worship, through rituals, through sacrifice. His brother Epimetheus, who is present for the hearing, recommends to Prometheus that he accept the offer. Prometheus replies, "They want to share with me, and I maintain that I have nothing I need share with them. What I have, they cannot snatch away." Here's a little peek into Goethe's talent as a writer. This is sort of alchemy in literature. He's able to conjure up Minerva, who is the goddess of inspired speech. He's able to experience her as a medium for his thoughts and ideas flooding through him, which gives Prometheus the power to respond to the gods. This is what he says. "Cover your heavens, Zeus, and look down upon my world. It lives. A world that I formed in my own image, a race of men who are my equal, to suffer, to weep, to enjoy, and to be happy, and to ignore you, as do I." We know what happens after this. He's blasted off into the Caucasus, where the rope and the rock is waiting for him. But before that happens, Prometheus actually continues, which is what got Goethe into trouble with the critics. The allegation of blasphemy. Because the powerlessness of the gods is pilloried even more sharply. Prometheus continues, "I know nothing so pitiful under the sun as you gods, your majesty, kept alive by offerings and whispered prayers. And you would wither if not for children and beggars, those hopeful fools." It caused a scandal. Their claim to Goethe was, why should that be true only of the Greek gods and not our God as well? You see, Goethe was misunderstood. But because he was born into this family of power, of influence, of privilege, the case didn't go anywhere. It was diffused, negated, neutralized. "My field," said Goethe, "is time."